These are the Google Pixel Buds Pro, and they're the first earbuds I've used in a long time that don't have a stem. I really didn't think they were going to stay in my ear, let alone enjoy them, but I was very wrong. I'd love to tell you why, so let's talk tech. I'm Agent with Ardently Tech, and about a month ago I did a review on the Google Pixel 8 Pro where I talked about this was my first Android phone I've used in over 10 years. And since I really enjoyed using the Google Pixel 8, I thought it only made sense to try their counterpart earbuds, the Google Pixel Buds Pro. After all, they had a bunch of the features that I look for in a good pair of earbuds, like noise cancellation, transparency mode, good battery life, supposed comfortable fit, customizable EQ settings, wireless charging, fast charging, and if you know me, you know I love my multi-point connectivity. So when I saw them on sale for $130, I knew I had to give them a try. And for full transparency, I really expected to only use these for 30 days and return them if I didn't like them, but that was not the case. I really did enjoy them, and 4 months later, here I am, using them almost daily. That said, there are still things I don't care about these, but there are a lot of great things about these, so let's start there. Starting off with the sound quality, and full disclosure, I am not an audiophile. We say this in every earbud review because we do not critique sound quality to the same extent as some other YouTubers out there, and that's just the case. I mean, we enjoy good sound. As long as it doesn't sound muffled or messy or gross or tinny, we're usually going to be impressed, especially if it has a good balance of sound, bass, trebles, and all that stuff. And out of the box, this does have pretty good sound quality, but I did find it to be a little bit better when I played with the EQ settings a little bit. So in the app on Android phones, you can customize the EQ settings, which is really nice. I'll talk more about that later. They also have 11mm drivers that also help that sound quality. Overall, I believe most people who put these and try these on will be pleased by the sound quality that it produces. The next thing is battery life, and it promises over 31 hours of battery life. That's more than what's promised with the AirPods Pro 2s. That's 11 hours in the buds, 20 in the case, 31 total. If you have active noise cancellation on, it does go down to 7 hours of battery life in the buds and then 20 hours total. But even then, it's still longer than what's promised with the AirPods Pro 2s. And just like those, they do also have USB-C fast charging and wireless charging capabilities, which isn't always necessary, but always nice to have, especially when you're spending a lot of money on earbuds. The next thing is the build quality of the case and the buds themselves. The case has a great hinge that is just really satisfying to open and close. And with the earbuds being such a particular shape, they do feel pretty sturdy and they don't feel like they're gonna fall out of your ear at any point. I will say though, the case does seem to attract stains because of its texture and the color of it. I have like red stainage from my other AirPods Pro case that just seems to rub off on this when I have them in the same pocket. Not a big deal, but something to note because of the case. Now here's the part where the earbuds really started to surprise me because as I mentioned earlier, I didn't think they would stay in my ear, but these fit and stay in my ear better than I believe the AirPods Pros. The AirPods Pros do fit in my ear and they're some of my favorite earbuds, but these Google Pixel Buds Pros sit in my ears so snug, I don't even think that they could fall out if I try to shake my head. And I have tried that. I've lifted weights, done some basketball, and there's only a few times where I have to adjust them. It's probably the least amount of times I've had to adjust an earbud during a workout and maybe in general. Again, I didn't expect that because I typically don't like earbuds that don't have a stem, because in the past, most of the earbuds like that typically just fell out of my ear. Of course, I have seen other reviews of people who feel like the earbuds are just shaped so particularly that they don't fit in their ears, but for me and a lot of other people, it seems like these earbuds are a great fit for most. And another thing that surprised me is the touch controls on the earbuds, because having such a small surface to do touch controls, I didn't know how well they were going to work. On a lot of earbuds, when I'm trying to adjust them, like on the Bose Quiet Comfort 2s, I accidentally touch the earbuds and they are sensitive and they go off. But with these, I can adjust and not disturb my music or listening experience at all. Again, that was not at all expected. I expected to have that issue just because I've seen a lot of people did have that issue, but for me, it wasn't. Another thing I hear is that the active noise cancellation wasn't as good, but it was pretty comparable. Now, I'm not gonna say it was better than AirPods Pro 2s, but it was up there. It was very up there, very comparable to the AirPods Pro 2. It was not better than the Quiet Comforts by any means, but they were very, very good. Now, it's also very good when you're listening to music or have something playing. It just takes it all to a different level of active noise cancellation. But if you just have them on and nothing playing, you would hear a bit more sounds on those than you would on the AirPods Pros if you had those on just active noise cancellation and nothing playing. Same goes with the transparency mode. It was good, comparable but not better than the AirPods Pro 2s, where the AirPods Pro 2s, it really feels like you're listening with your own ears. With the Google Pixel Buds Pros, I could hear a little hiss or a hum, very light but noticeable when in a completely quiet room. Another thing that they do have is conversational awareness mode, which is nice in theory, but if you are someone who sings along to music like I am, it's going to pause your music if you are listening, or lower the volume of your music if you just start to sing along while you're working out or while you're doing whatever you're doing. So I'm usually inclined to turn off that feature on every earbud that offers it, because again, it's great in theory, but it just doesn't work out when you like to sing along to your music. And of course, one of the things I have to always mention in these reviews is multi-point connection when earbuds do have it, because I enjoy multi-point connection. As someone who carries multiple devices on the day-to-day, it is nice to have the ability to switch and use one pair of earbuds instead of switching earbuds and carrying multiple, even though I still do that because I'm trying to review several different products at the same time. Now, I did claim that the auto switching only works between Android devices, but I connected to my iPhone and my Google Pixel, and they switch pretty easily between the two simultaneously without having to disconnect or reconnect. They're connected to both. When I pause something on my iPhone and listen to something on my Pixel, it just starts playing, and it's pretty auto. I don't know what's considered not auto switching, so I might be wrong on that, but it just seems pretty seamless with that multi-point connection between the two different devices from different companies. So very impressive. And before we move on, let's do a little quick mic test and see how they test out. So let me know what you think.
This is the call quality test. I'm leaving a voice message on my other phone. Does the call quality sound great on the Google Pixel Buds Pro? Let me know what you think.
Another thing that I really enjoyed was the app that you're able to use to customize all the settings on the Google Pixel Buds through your Google Pixel phone, or any Android for that matter. But more on that later in the cons section. As I mentioned earlier, they have the EQ settings that really change the sound quality of these earbuds, and you can also customize your own. You can turn on multi-point connection, check the seal on your ear tips, and you can also find your earbuds if they're lost. Kind of. Again, more on that later in the cons section. You can also toggle transparency and active noise cancellation on and off, and a few other things. Another great thing about these earbuds is that Google is constantly updating their firmware so that it makes them better and better all the time without having to change the hardware, which again, there's a lot of features that didn't come on these on day one of release that now have them, and I mentioned in today's video, that make them much more usable and much more recommendable today than they were probably on day one. But before I go on to tell you what I didn't like about the Google Pixel Buds Pro, make sure to like this video if you found it helpful so far, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. And if you're considering picking up the Google Pixel Buds yourself, please consider using our affiliate links in the description below, because you help support our channel by doing so. Alright, so the cons. The apps I mentioned I really do love, but it is only available on Android phones. But if you're an iPhone user and you want to try the Google Pixel Buds, yeah, you can still connect them to your phone, you just won't have the ability to customize those settings through any other app that you can find on the App Store. All's fair in love and war, because of course Apple does the same thing with the AirPods Pro 2s and some features that you can only get if you have an iPhone. It's not only a Google thing, it's an Apple thing, but I just wish that there was a way for both of these earbuds to be fully compatible with other devices outside of their obvious companies that they're associated with. Maybe someday, just not today. And another thing I kind of alluded to earlier is that the Find My features on these earbuds, it's kind of dated. I mean, it's really just playing a sound on the earbuds if you just happen to lose them, which doesn't always even work. Well, it's a collaboration with Tile or something that Google makes on themselves. It'd just be nice to have something more than just playing a sound off of the earbud when you misplace them. Another nitpicking thing is that yes, you do have different colors with the earbuds, but the case is all the same color. It would be nice if they also match the earbud case with the cases. It'd just be nice to see them in a bunch of different colors. The same thing with AirPods Pros. I'd love to see the AirPods Pros in different colors. Another thing, they do have some features that say spatial audio and head tracking, but it just didn't seem to work the same way as the AirPods Pro 2s worked, and I hate to consistently compare it to the AirPods Pro throughout this entire review. Apologies, but that's just like my daily driver. That's what I use every day, and that's the standard that I set every earbud to, so that's always going to be the case. When I tried that feature out, it didn't really seem to change. It had similar sounding names to the AirPods spatial audio, and it just didn't seem like the same thing. So, And lastly, this is not necessarily a con, just something to keep in mind that the Google Pixel Buds 2 are predicted to come out probably later this year. So if you're in the market for these, I would say refrain from paying full price. If you can find them on a sale like I did, sub 130 or around 130, but you might also want to consider what the Google Pixel Bud Pro 2s have to offer before considering these fully. That said, if you're waiting to see what they have to offer or just want to pick these up now, I do not believe you're going to be disappointed in the purchase as long as you don't pay full value. I'm going to give these a 9 out of 10 because they are such a great earbud. Again, exceeded my expectations. I did not expect to like these as much as I did, have them 4 months later and still use them on a day-to-day. It's only hindered by its exclusivity that it has to Android phones, which again, I understand because Apple does the same thing, but it'd just be nice to at least have half of the capabilities of customization if you just had an iPhone to use these earbuds, because then I can highly recommend it for everyone. But for now, I can only recommend this for people who have Android phones or an Android device. Like I said, I just would refrain from paying full price for these, which is around $188. If you can find them at $130 or lower, I think these would be a great price and a great pickup for these earbuds. But if you're looking for more budget option earbuds, you should check out the review that Arnell did on the JBL Vibe Beam or any of our other reviews over here on our channel. We'll see you on those videos. Peace.